going? A brilliant idea to, well, pass time along and basically, hopefully, inspire and help the next future pro wrestling owner. Why I'm doing this? I've been a road wrestler for years. Why not share some of the basic tips that I pretty much did. So you want to start a road wrestling group? Are you sure? Are you positive? Are you absolutely sure that you want to dedicate your free time, Monday through Friday, Saturdays and Sundays, building, constructing, managing, and telling people what to do, where to go, how to do it, so on and so forth, pretty much 24/7, 364 or 4 or 5 days a year? Are you sure you want to do this? Because if not, you might as well quit. A lot of road wrestling owners do not realize how hard it is to manage a road wrestling group. And very few successfully did it and can say that they did it. I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people that decided to keep going even though we fell so fucking hard back in 2014, 2015, and 2016. After that, we were pretty much dead until Kelly picked me up, brushed me off, put me back on my feet, and then kicked me over again a couple years later. Doesn't matter. Well, that being said, though, I'm going to give you guys a few tips on how to get started. And my first tip, well, I guess I should start these tips by telling a bit of a story. So when I first started out my road wrestling experience, I wanted to start a group like everybody else wanted to start a group. There were better groups out there. Now at the time, I didn't know that there was this, group option when you had Builders Club, or when you get Builders Club, you're able to start your own group and do whatever and all that. I didn't know that was actually a thing. So I've never asked my parents once to have Builders Club because I would always think, well, what if they say no? What am I going to do then? So I started out just building a place, typed in RWA or the name of my group, and in the description I typed in the show times, and that was pretty much it. The show times, champions, and a quick introduction like join for wrestling action or some shit like that. It was something nice, short, simple, drives people's attention, right? Well, not really. It's a slow start. It really is. If you're just starting out, when I started out in pro wrestling, it was still very new. Since I joined at around 2007, Roblox was only out like maybe over a year or two. But I joined sometime in 2007 and created the Road Wrestling Group RWA, which was my very first group, very first name of the group. And It was very slow. I had like maybe 2 or 3 people join per show. We would have fun. I put them two in a match, then we put each other. We would basically just swap out. We all have a good time. They'd go. They'd grab some friends. It went from 3 to 5 to 7 people. 5 to 7 people joining the place, having some fun. These are people that I've never met before. I didn't have any friends whatsoever on Roblox. I was not interested in adding any sort of friends on Roblox. So it was more or less, along the lines of just me doing, basic shit. The most basics of basics is try to go along with pretty much everybody you meet. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. That's really all that I can remember is that I had a lot of fun trying to get this place up. About a month or 2 passed by. This guy came up to me and said, "Hey, I had the RWA name first." I'm just sitting there like, "Hey, it doesn't really matter, And then he's like, "I want to fight for it." All right. He won. I lost. We agreed that if I lost, I would change the name. I lost, so I did what I said. I changed the name from RWA to RWWAE, which in my mind stood for Roblox World Wrestling Area of Entertainment. Or Arena of Entertainment. It wasn't the best name, and I eventually took out the A and just did RWWE, Roblox World Wrestling Entertainment. And RWWE was very much a success. I mean, I don't think anybody really remembers the name RWWE, except for maybe Corvallis, since he joined at around that time. There we go. I do apologize about that. I don't know what the heck happened. My fucking phone decided to act up. So, whatever. Anyways, as I was trying to say, Corvallis has been a very good friend of mine, pretty much since the beginning. He joined around the RWWE era. But the point is basically, if you're going to start out, don't make a group. If you're going to start out, don't make a group. Don't waste your time making a group, because if nobody shows up, what's the fucking point? What's the point when you have an empty group with nobody that's joining, and then you end up, abandoning it because you either gave up or people's not coming, so you just fucking give the whole thing up or whatever. You should probably this is probably a very good testing ground to make sure that people want to come. And people will come. People will want to come. People that either are very new to pro wrestling or very enthusiastic, I guess is a good word, about smaller groups, maybe want to try to help them grow or whatever. Because there are a few pro wrestlers like that. There are a few pro wrestlers that are more on the lines like that. I actually used to be one of those people that would take time out of my group to help somebody with their group. Of course, that group didn't really take off. Well, I mean, the kid basically gave up and gave the group to me. I'm just sitting there like, whatever, everybody join my group. Whatever, fuck. I don't have time to deal with it. I'm not going to run 2 fucking groups at the same time. Because that was basically what I was doing. And it's not really that hard, but it's not that easy as well. Because when you think about it, not only do you have to build your own place, you have to make your own tools or find a tool that really suits you. If you can't find or make a tool, then you're pretty much out of options. When I started out, I didn't know how to really do anything. I did build my very first place on my own, and I used the exact same place for every single show up to WrestleMania 5, I think, and then pretty much went around using the Bretman's places, and then I built some other places and whatnot, and then coming around WrestleMania 6, kind of just ended from there. Then when Kelly picked up, she started building it. She built a more permanent place. Place you make, you have to build your own place. You have to. It's okay to use some free models, but don't take something off of a free model and say that you built it. If you're looking for example, if you're looking for a ring, then find a ring and then use the ring. If you want to build your own ring, build your own ring. I'm just recommending you to build your own ring or build your own stadium and use very little to barely any free models if you can help. Because going on free models and then choosing a big stadium, a ring, a few trons, and then calling it a day. All that time could have been dedicated to building your own place, or at least learning how to. It's not that hard to learn how to build your own place. It's not really that hard to learn how to build on Roblox in general. And if I could, I would build my own place on Roblox. I would rebuild, or I would build a brand new stadium and restart RWE from scratch if I really wanted to. So then, after you build your place, after you build your ring, if you want to learn how to script, that's completely optional. You don't need special lighting effects, though it would make for a very nice place. If you want people to join, you're going to have to do as much as you can to try to impress them. And if that includes adding lights, adding an admin script, so on and so forth, then do that. What I would recommend is Cole's admin, though, if you're going to do an admin script. The reason why I say Cole's admin is that Cole's been updating his admin pretty much from day one. He's been updating admin and giving it to Pro Wrestlers pretty much for forever. So this guy, he's been behind Pro Wrestlers, and he's pretty much trustworthy. Just make sure you get his up-to-date admin and make sure everything works. You might want to get like a brother or sister or something to join play so you can test out admin powers by giving them admin, taking it away, killing them, so on and so forth. Every single little detail has to work. The one thing that probably take out is the ability to set off a nuke, which I'm pretty sure Cole doesn't do that anymore. But some of his older admin scripts does have a nuke within, and I can't remember what the command name for it is, but just delete the command. You don't have to figure out what everything does. You just have to delete the command to execute it, and then you don't even have to worry about it. Another thing that's probably most important for road wrestlers is music, which is, again, going back to the admin script, you want to make sure that the music command works. If it doesn't, find another admin script or find a music script. Just a script that allows you to play music from Roblox's audio library. And I'm sure there's scripts that will allow you to play audio from YouTube, but I've never really found them, and the ones that I did find were very unreliable. So yeah, don't fall for any tricks or scams, because that's pretty much how you get a place that crashes every time you open the game. Another thing, I guess, you should have is a lot of patience. When you're first getting started and you have all this fancy ass stuff, but nobody shows up, you gotta have patience. You gotta have patience. Even if you post in your description the show times, that might not be enough. If you post house show every other day, or house show basically every other day, that's not a main show. Like, okay, for example, you have house shows every day, Tuesday through Thursday, Saturday and Sunday at a certain time, say 5 p.m. And then your 2 main shows on Mondays and Fridays at the same time, 5 p.m. So at 4:30, you should show up at your place first. You should be the first person to show up. So then 5 o'clock comes around, people and kids, especially kids, will be home from school. They'll be on Roblox, and all the road wrestlers will be either going to their own respective places, or maybe the new kids that are just finding Roblox or just looking for a new road wrestling place will type into the games wrestling or something, find a random place that has like a few people in it, or they'll see your game that has just only one person. Oh, well, let's check this out. Click. There you go. You got your first visit. It takes a lot of patience. I didn't have anybody for the first few weeks. It took me maybe a few weeks. I would say maybe over a month before somebody finally showed up. And I'm not going to say that it will take a month for you to get people to show up. It might take longer than that. It might take a while, actually, for people to show up. And those first few people, you had better make your friends, because those people will define who you are in your first weeks of starting your first ever road wrestling. And again, it might not stick. If you're not as dedicated as a lot of other people are, then they might think if you ask, well, this might not last for him. And trust me, I've had a few people that came up and said, this isn't going to last for him. And, you know, after people made those comments, saying that this isn't going to last very long, you should just quit now while you're ahead. That made me more dedicated to continue doing road wrestling, even though I had a lot of haters and a lot of trolls coming after me, trying to spread a lot of hate, trying to spread a lot of you know, abuse and whatnot, trying to bully me into into basically stopping the road wrestling group I was trying to do. You're going to have a lot of trolls. That's probably a main thing on Roblox. You're going to have a lot of people that's going to enter your place and say this load of shit or something like that, something along the lines like that. They're going to come and say, this isn't even a show or whatever. You're going to get a lot of people like that, and they're going to talk you down. They're gonna basically just, you know, out of the blue blame you for not inviting a lot of people. And those are the people that you just want to just ban, get rid of. And I would usually say don't ban anybody unless they're very stupid. But if they're just to the point where they're obnoxiously annoying the living hell out of you to get you to stop doing what you're trying to do, then that's when you just get rid of them. Starting a brand new pro wrestling group takes a lot of patience. And if you have some friends, invite them. I would go to random places and promote my group. Not random pro wrestling places. I would go to just random games and start promoting the group. And if you have any Robux, I would start placing advertisements for it. And they don't have to be fancy. They would just have to, you know, have your group logo and say, join us. And it works. I promise you, it'll work. See, if tickets were still available to pro wrestlers, then I don't think this would be as much of a problem as it is now, since tickets used to be like the best form of currency on Roblox. But now since tickets are taken away, you're pretty much useless. I would say, you're pretty much useless. And I'm not saying it as a bad thing. I'm just saying it as more or less of a fucking phone keeps acting up. So I'm going to try to continue this little tips and tricks thing. So at the end of the day, don't trust anybody that's just going to come up to you and say, hey, I see that you need somebody to host a group. I can do it for you. Just tell them no. I got it. If this guy is your friend and you've known this guy or this person for a while, you've hung out with him, he's been very cool to you, he's been very welcoming, just been, very helpful. then and only then would I say, yeah, man, I would really greatly appreciate it if you make a group and hold it for me for a while I try to get built. And then as soon as you get Builders Club, transfer ownership status. Just do it immediately. One more thing I'm going to say, and then I'll probably end the stream from here, is that have fun. Have as much fun as you can. Even if you're starting out at, say, like 12, 13, 14, you think you got it, so let's just do it. Let's just freaking do it. Let's go out there and make our own freaking group. Have as much fun as you can. Try to be as fair as possible. Try to give everybody there a match. Even if there's just 3 people there. Just give them both a match, and then when there's like nobody else there, just throw yourself in. Make it a triple threat, or even, do 1v1 with those 2, and then you versus one guy, and you versus another, and then so on and so forth. Do not do championship matches within your first year of making a pro wrestling group. Just don't do it. Because that's just something that I've always struggled with, is making champions and then doing championship matches. And trust me when I say this, just don't do championships in your first year. And maybe not even in your second year. Just don't do it. Just announce, okay, we're going to have our very first championship match for a random world title. We're going to have it at our big main event. Don't do pay-per-view events within your first year as well, because you don't have any championships to make or defend or crown. So don't do pay-per-view events. When you do start out doing pay-per-view events, try to come up with something on your own. Don't copy ideas from WWE, TNA, whatnot. But if you do end up basically copying WWE, remaking or making WrestleMania, I should be telling this to myself. If you're going to do that, reimagine it in your own image. What do you see WrestleMania as? Because if you see WrestleMania as the biggest show that anybody's ever seen, then that's basically copying WWE. If you make it in your own image, not only is it the biggest show that you've ever seen. Well, actually, no. Don't just say that it's the biggest show you've ever seen. Don't just flat out say that this will be the biggest show you'll ever see, because that's blatantly copying WWE. I wouldn't even say anything. Try to reimagine it in your own image. What do you see it as? When I reimagined WrestleMania, I saw it as an opportunity to allow anybody to have their own WrestleMania moment. Even if you're not in a championship match. And it was the very first pay-per-view event that I ever did. It was very successful. The first pay-per-view event should be your biggest event. Try to make it your biggest and best event that you're going to have every single year at around the spring or summertime. Or do something really crazy and have it during the fall or whatever. But at the end of the day, don't just blatantly copy somebody else's work. Don't say that, oh, it's just WrestleMania. Don't just say it's just WrestleMania, because it's a blatant copy of WWE. You should be very ashamed of yourself. So anyways, I gotta enter this this weight station, so I'm gonna do that. I hope you guys enjoyed this little tips and tricks little video. I hope this helped you out. I might actually go a little further into this if time allows. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good rest of the day.